Hey there, good afternoon. Welcome to 10 TV Plus as we take a look outside right now from Columbus. Your sunrise today was at 7:53 in the morning. Sunset this evening at 5:23. Daylight now at 9 hours and 23 minutes. And you know what? We have officially had our latest sunrise here of the year. Take a look at this. Our earliest sunset was back on December the 7th at 5:09 p.m. And then you can see our least amount of daylight was on the first day of winter. That was December the 21st. But our latest sunrise of the year happens on January the 4th. You know what else is on January the 4th? What we call perihelion. What exactly is that? So that is when the Earth and the sun are closest together. Believe it or not, it happens in January. Even though January is the coldest month of the year, we are actually closest to the sun here at 91.4 million miles. On the contrary, we are the furthest from the sun here on July the 3rd. That would be aphelion. That would be 94.5 million miles away, the distance between the Earth and the sun. Why is it, though, in the wintertime, it is so much colder? Well, because it's not necessarily our distance from the sun that matters. It's actually the tilt. In the wintertime, we're tilted away from the sun at 23.5 degrees. So even though we're closer, it doesn't feel like it because we have that tilt away at 23.5 degrees. Anyways, a little bit of weather knowledge there early this morning. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the weather across Ohio over the next few days. We're going to be looking at a dry Tuesday, bitter cold on the way. It's about to get downright cold as we head into the next few days. And we are looking at some brand new model data that is showing that we could pick up some snow Friday night heading into early Saturday morning. A quick 1 to 2 inches could be possible, as we'll fill you in on that here coming up in the next few minutes. So let's get a look at that 10 weather impact forecast. It's about the chill. Ladies and gentlemen, wind chills today are about 5 degrees. Wind chills will be about -10 as we head into Thursday morning, Friday morning, around that time of the week. So get ready. We're talking about dressing up in layers. You're not going to want any exposed skin because, as we're going to talk about coming up in just a few minutes, frostbite, hypothermia, all that stuff could definitely set in a lot easier, as we're going to be talking about some gusty winds here in the morning hours, and it's going to be downright chilly. Now, here's a look at the upper level pattern. What controls how cold we are all has to do with the jet stream, okay? So the jet stream is up high at about 40,000 feet, and you can see right now it strips all the way across the mid-Atlantic up towards the Great Plains. So right now we have this pocket of cold air. I want you to look what's going to happen as we head into the end of this week. Now where's the jet stream? Wow, way down to the deep south. Here's the thing. Parts of the deep south, Texas, maybe even Louisiana, Arkansas, they're going to be tapping into that cold. What does that mean for them? They might be getting snow. Folks in Texas might be getting some ice as we head into the next few days. So it's about to get downright chilly as we head into Thursday, Friday. So we'll take a better look at that possible ice storm coming up in just a bit. Here at home, here's a look at our nighttime lows. And the coldest night, Thursday night, 4 degrees. So the actual air temperature is going to be dipping down to 4 degrees. The wind chill is going to be a lot worse than that. You'll see that the average nighttime low, about 23, but we'll be down to the single digits here on Thursday night. That will be the coldest night of the week. When you factor in the wind, how cold does it get? Take a look at some of these wind chills here. This is going to be brutal. Thursday night, -10. Okay, so that's why we talk about dressing up in layers. When it gets that cold, exposed skin can get frostbite and hypothermia very quickly. And then as we head towards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're looking at temperatures still very cold, but not as bad as that -10 here Thursday night heading into the start of Friday. So let's take that a little bit further, okay? When you start seeing temperatures get down to -10, frostbite sets in a lot quicker. We're talking about as little as 30 minutes, all right? So if you're sending the kids off to the bus stop, off to work, off to school, and we're looking at temperatures around -10, the wind chill between -10 and -20, that exposed skin can form frostbite in as little as a half hour. Luckily, though, we're not getting down as low as some of these other numbers. Look at that. Once you get down to -40, and I've felt -40 wind chills before, it can set in as quickly as 5 minutes. So fortunately, we're not talking about that. But what exactly is the wind chill? Think of it like a comfort index, okay? I've said this before and I'll say it again. Your body always wants to maintain a balance. Your body is striving to keep its internal temperature at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When you have on a hat, gloves, and mittens, your body does a pretty good job at thermal regulation. However, what happens though, when you start blowing the wind, that warm air that your body produces evaporates away from your skin. Remember, evaporation is a cooling process. So your body cools. Think about it this way. You get out of a hot, steamy shower, and then you go out into the living room, and then you start getting a chill. Same exact thing. It's that cold breeze that makes you feel that much more uncomfortable. So the wind that we're going to have Thursday night going into Friday, that can kind of wick that moisture away from your skin, making things feel a lot colder and a lot more uncomfortable. You got to take it very serious when these wind chills get down to -5, -10, because that starts to teeter into the danger zone. Got to be careful with that. All right, let's talk about the weather here at home. So we've talked about the cold. We've got not one, we've got two different opportunities for snow heading into the next few days. Opportunity number one comes in tomorrow. Take a look at this. We're going to stop it right here. This is Wednesday night at 11:30. Take a look at this band of snow setting up from Athens all the way up through Urbana and Bell Fountain. Okay, that band of snow could possibly drop a quick dusting to maybe a ½ inch, maybe an inch for some of you. The good news is that as soon as we hit midnight, it goes away, okay? And this is also very fickle. If that goes 20 miles further to the south or 20 miles further to the north, that could change who gets snow and who doesn't. So this is what we're looking at here. This is specifically tomorrow night. We could see a quick 1 to 2 inches of snowfall here if that band of snow does set up where the models are showing that it sets up. Keep in mind, it could fluctuate 20 miles to the south, 20 miles to the north. So we could take that 1 to 2 inch line and push it further down towards London, or we could push it up towards Marion and Delaware. All right, so that line is very fickle. So I want to give you some nuances here, kind of explain to you what the possible scenarios with that are. Then we have round number 2 possible heading into Friday. Take a look at this though right here. All right, this is what we call a phasing of two different weather systems. We got a piece of energy up towards the northern plains. Take a look at that piece of energy up towards Montana and the northern plains, and then look down here near Texas. We got two areas of energy. These two areas of energy are going to work in tandem with one another. I'm very concerned about the possibility of a snowstorm, maybe even some ice down in Texas. If you have loved ones down there, make sure that they're aware they could be getting an ice storm maybe later on this week. We're not looking at ice here at home, but look what happens here as these two evolve. All right, here's system number 1. Here's system number 2 from the south. They start to merge and they meet up with one another. Look what happens though as we head into Friday night. Here we go. Most of the moisture is down to the south. I just said big snowstorm possible for the deep south, and that could be likely. And then as we head towards late Friday night, that energy is going to move in. This is not going to be as much snow as what we've seen over the last few days, but it is possible Friday night we could pick up a quick 1 to maybe even 2 inches. And I'm concerned here with how cold it is. It's not going to melt. So we could be looking at some slick roads Friday night heading into the first part of Saturday. Nonetheless, that gets on out of here. And then heading into Saturday and Sunday, both those days, we'll be looking at some pretty nice weather out there. Now, let's talk about the Friday night snowfall. All right. The blue on the map, we're looking at an inch plus. So Circleville is included in that. Lancaster is included in that. Chillicothe is included in that. And then we have that tight gradient further to the northwest. We're looking at lower amounts of snowfall. So far yesterday, take a look at this, man. Bainbridge, the jackpot, 1 foot. Washington Courthouse, 8 inches. Lancaster came in at near 6 inches. Columbus, the official high, 4.4 inches. As we look at the month of January, Columbus has had over a ½ foot of snow, normal 1.6 inches. So what does that give us? A surplus of 5 inches so far for the month of January. Let's get a look right now at that 7-day forecast. And again, just to recuperate, we have round number 1 of snow possible Wednesday night going into Thursday. The bitter cold here on Thursday night going into Friday morning. Look at Friday right there, 4 degrees for the nighttime low. For the morning low, waking up on Friday, Snow possible Friday night, a quick 1 to 2 inches, and then heading into Saturday and Sunday, going to be looking at the possibility of some warming temperatures. So that should be nice. Finally, we thawed things out, and for the first time in like 10 days, we could possibly climb above freezing by Monday of next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. That does it for me here on 10 TV Plus. Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be back on 10 TV at 4, 5, and 6.